Good morning, friends, and welcome to the second Sunday of Advent. Today, I'd like to share with you. This is so funny. This is actually one of my favorite Christmas books from childhood, The First Christmas, and now it is one of William's favorites. William is my 4-year-old, and he loves this version of the Christmas story. All right. Without further ado, The First Christmas by Marcia Williams. Many, many days and nights ago, in the far-off town of Nazareth, a woman named Mary knelt in prayer. An angel called Gabriel came down in a cloud of golden light. "Fear not, Mary, for God has favored you. You will bear a son and call him Jesus. He will be great. His kingdom will never end." An angel also visited Joseph, Mary's betrothed, to bring him the good news and to ask him to care for Mary and the baby. So Mary and Joseph were married and shared a great feast with their friends. Then Joseph, who was a carpenter, made a crib and wooden toys for Jesus. Mary sewed swaddling clothes and blankets. Soon all was ready for the birth, but Jesus was not to be born at home. The mighty Roman emperor ordered that everyone should return to their hometowns in order to pay their taxes. Joseph's family came from Bethlehem, 70 miles from Nazareth. Although it was winter and the baby was nearly due, Joseph and Mary had to go to Bethlehem. Sadly, Mary packed the food and mounted their donkey. The journey to Bethlehem was long and tiring. Some days were rainy, and some were windy. At night, the air was bitterly cold. It took Mary and Joseph several days to reach the lights of Bethlehem. In Bethlehem, the streets were crowded. There were many travelers. The inns were all full. Joseph knocked on one door, then another, then another. But the answer was always the same. No room, no room, no room at the inn. Tears came to Mary's eyes. The donkey was very tired. At last, a kind innkeeper took pity on them. He showed them a stable. "You can sleep here," he said. "My ox and donkey will keep you warm." Mary and Joseph were very grateful. They filled the manger with straw to make a crib for Jesus, then lay down to rest. During the night, the baby was born. Meanwhile, close by in a field, the shepherds sat guarding their sheep. All at once they heard singing. The angel Gabriel descended to their midst. The shepherds were terrified. "Fear not," said Gabriel. "I bring you tidings of great joy. Jesus, our Savior, is born this very night in Bethlehem." The shepherds were very excited. Do you see all the sheep in the background? And on the borders? Those are some fuzzy sheep. They left their sheep and went to Bethlehem, guided by a bright light. There they found the baby Jesus and knelt before him in wonder. 3 wise men from the east saw a shining star. They knew its meaning and prepared to follow it in search of the Son of God. Caspar, Melchior, and Balthazar followed the star for miles and miles until at last it led them to Bethlehem. Look at that long trip. That camel does not want to cross that river. There they found Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus. They knelt and worshiped and offered gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. The people of Bethlehem saw this. They also knelt and worshipped. Young and old alike were filled with joy now that the baby Jesus, their Savior, was born. Aww. Since that day, Christians all over the world remember the birth of Jesus. We call this special day Christmas. All over the world, bells ring out. People go to church to give thanks to God for the birth of Jesus Christ. At this happy time, we sing carols and give presents. We invite our friends and family to help us celebrate. They join us for Christmas dinner, and we wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. The end. All right, friends. That was the Christmas story for this week. I'll see you next week. Happy December.